Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are going to do a general tarot reading for the month ahead for February. Before we get into that, I've been gone a while. Let's address the elephant in the room. I have not been putting out YouTube videos since a while. We're not even going to get into how long it's been, and I am really deeply sorry if that disappointed anybody. I am happy to get into why I took a break and also why I am back in another video. So if that's something you want, please feel free to comment, let me know, ask questions. I would be happy to answer any questions. I hope that I haven't broken trust with any of you. I love you so dearly and I miss you guys so much. Whatever size the community is, I'm so grateful for it and I'm so lucky to have it. So with that being said, a little bit of housekeeping to do before we get into our general reading, which I'm genuinely so excited about. First off, there are going to be a couple of changes to this channel. I realized that making a weekly video was just not sustainable for me, especially because my business, Harvey Alchemy, really took off on the candle side of things. The candles I've been loving making so much, and they've proved to be quite successful in selling, and they keep me busy. So in order to provide something that is authentic and sustainable for me to offer to you guys as a service, I will be doing a month ahead tarot reading at the beginning of every month. And I also am totally happy to do videos throughout the month that maybe are a little less expected, a little less formulaic in this reading style. Like if you guys want any candle content or want any like life in the studio, weekly studio vlogs, whatever, if you're interested in that, I would be happy to try that out, play around, who knows. Also, another change that's coming with this channel is I want to do either live readings or readings answering your questions. So once a month, I would really like to answer whatever questions you have, whatever questions you want to ask the cards. You can drop them in the comments and I will pull. I'm still not sure if I'll pull for all of them or like 5 randoms or anything. That's still undecided. So it could be that I answer all your questions. We'll see as time goes on what I'll decide to do. But I want to do that once a month so that you guys are getting your questions answered the way that you need, because I'm really realizing right now that I am craving being of service and knowing that what I am doing is landing on the other side, that my words are landing, that the words from messages from guides are landing. So I want to make sure that you guys feel like you are being served. On the other side of that, these videos are completely free. However, if you wish to donate or if you have anything that you can offer in exchange for the service that I'm providing, you can absolutely Venmo me or PayPal me. All of that information is in the description. As little as whatever, $5, a cup of coffee. It's so appreciated, never required, but I just wanted to put that option out there in case anybody wanted to participate in an exchange. If you find that your general reading today really resonates with you, you are more than welcome to check out my website, harveymountaincalchemy.com, to book a personal reading for yourself one-on-one. We're really tapping into what your guides have to tell you, what messages they want you to receive. I also do astrology and Reiki and numerology readings, so if that's anything that you might be interested in and you can afford, I would highly suggest that you do that. It'll be much more detailed, much more personalized to what you need to hear. That being said, if you're into astrology as well, I have a podcast. I've been putting a lot of work into that lately. It's called The Stars Made Me Do It. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the platforms, and we also have a second exclusive podcast on Patreon. The top tier, the most expensive one, is $9 a month. So if that seems like something you can afford, please go check it out. The cheapest tier is $3 a month. There's also a free trial period. So there's a lot of options out there if you're really interested in astrology. They don't all have to cost you an arm and a leg. And you also get an astrology community. You get our public episodes out early. And it's just generally a fun time. We're making a community space there for people who really love astrology and use it on a daily basis. Now, that is all the admin that I need to do, all the housekeeping for, the changes that this channel is taking on. Of course, it's going to have its own little growing pains. If I find that something is working really well or isn't working really well, I will be making changes. And if you guys have any suggestions whatsoever, I am happy to take them on. This is such a good space to recommend and suggest because I am trying to be in service for you guys. So if you see that there's a different way that you could better be served, please let me know and I will take that under consideration and do my best, as long as it also aligns with what I am able to give, because that's been a major lesson that I've been learning during this Saturn and Pisces era. So without further ado, let's get into February. As usual, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I've got 3 piles here on the table, so you can pick from whatever pile resonates with you the most, whether that means what you're manifesting or what's been really coming up in your life. You can pick whatever pile is feeling right for you. And yeah, let's get into it. I'm so excited. All right, so here are the piles. Pile 1, we have got fear. Pile 2, happiness, and pile 3, frustration. All right, so pile 1, you picked this fear card, which is telling me that you are living in a place of fear, or you are trying to abolish fear from your life right now, that fear is taking up too much space. Maybe there's a bit of fear of the unknown, especially because this is going into a bit of an alleyway. It's a portal into another place that we're not very familiar with. So this tells me that we need some changes in our lives. So maybe February is going to be a month of change. So I'm going to pull some cards. If you're new here or if you don't remember because it's been a hot second, when we do the monthly readings, we're breaking the month into thirds. So we're going to look at February, which this year for 2024 is a leap year. So we have 29 days in February. We're going to look at the first 10 days, the second set of 10 days, and then the last set of 9 days. So we're going to start with this Everyday Witch tarot deck and look at this first set of 10 days in the month of February. Ooh, I already feel these 2 cards. There we go. Okay, we've got Temperance, the 7 of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. It feels like there is, obviously Temperance is about a form of balance. It feels like there is a call to balance what your mind is telling you you need to do, and how that might be pressuring you into doing something that doesn't feel really authentic to you. I think that there is an inner voice in the beginning of February that feels like it's somebody else's voice. So maybe there's a major lesson in learning to listen to the inner voice that is yours, rather than listening to the inner voice that has been conditioned or planted into your mind. There needs to be a sense of assertiveness and confidence when it comes to what you actually think about something. So I feel like maybe there's a little bit of follower mentality. We might be falling into the scope of what other people have told you to think. So early February is a really good time to balance out and find out what feels most harmonious for you, whether that is following somebody else's thoughts or if it is taking more autonomy over what it is that you think and what you believe in. And that's to say that there is no shame in following somebody else's thought, as long as you acknowledge that that's what you're doing. As long as you say to yourself, hey, this isn't really my thought or my belief, but I don't feel like I have the space to expand on my beliefs. So right now, what feels best for me is to not put in the mental energy and instead follow somebody else's words, thoughts, and ideas, especially if you find that that person is somebody that you can trust, right? If it's somebody that you don't trust and you dislike and that their energy is just generally not on the same vibe as yours, maybe rethink that and give yourself the space to expand on your own beliefs. But it is a balance game for the first 10 days of February. It's a time to say, okay, I've done this thing on this side of the spectrum. How can I balance it out and make sure that we have like this even weight distributed on both sides of my life, or both areas of life that are being affected during this time? I also feel like there is a little bit of defensiveness going on. So if you find that you're in any sort of tense situation or aggressive communications with other people, it might be a good time to sit back and see how they might be perceiving you and directing the way that you communicate your thoughts. It doesn't mean abandoning what you believe, but it does mean maybe just allowing yourself to recalibrate and then communicate from there. All right, so this second set of February, from the 11th to the 20th, what we are feeling. Ooh, and this is from the Muse Tarot. We've got the Page of Materials, the Six of Materials, all right, and this third card, the World / Cosmos, and I'm going to show you these cards. Both of these are reflective cards. We've got the Page of Materials looking at her own self from another perspective, and there's almost a naivete when it comes to pages. There's a sense of knowing that you don't know everything. So knowing that there's something of value to learn from whatever situation or circumstance that you're in. And then the Six of Materials, which is the Six of Pentacles, again, we're assessing ourselves, we're assessing our worth, but also we're acknowledging our worth. And we're finding that there is a sweet balance between what we can do versus what we don't have to do. So maybe there's a big sense of duty and obligation, especially because the world can be very overwhelming, especially when we're holding the world in our heads at all times. We're really feeling a sense of responsibility for all of the things that need to be done. I feel like this is a time in the month, I mean, we're falling into Valentine's Day. This is a time to really express your love, express what you value in its entirety, right? The world does not hold back. So don't hold back what you find valuable. Share your heart, share your value with the people around you that you can trust and that you feel safe with. That being said, I do feel like this is a time to look at your finances, assess your finances from a very grounded point of view. I actually just got a ping that for some of you, maybe this fear card that you picked here is coming from a place of lack, especially when it comes to finances. So this is a time to sit back and actually look at the numbers with logic and removing the fear and looking at the numbers as black and white as can be. And then really assessing, do I have to be scared here, or have I been taught to be afraid when it comes to finances? I think that some of you might find you're actually in an okay position and you are secure and you are safe, but there's an inner world that doesn't quite feel secure and safe, and we might be projecting that onto our bank account balance, okay? So try and do that assessment, that very black and white, look at just the numbers, don't attach any emotion to it if you can, which is quite difficult, so there's no shame in, if some fear does crawl in. And also make sure that you share your heart, share your sense of responsibility, share any weight of burdens that you're feeling onto other people. Not that you're burdening others, but just that you feel the sense that others can help carry that weight with you and that you don't have to be alone in the experience that you're having. All right, this last set of 9 days, we have a leap year this year. So now we're inching into Pisces season. We've been in Aquarius season, although so many Capricorn placements. This is my all-time favorite deck. If you are an OG, then you remember. It's my Sasuraibito deck. It's one of my absolute favorites. You got 4 cards for the end of February. We've got the 3 of Pentacles, the 9 of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles, and the 10 of Pentacles. Wow, so this is really telling me that around the beginning of Pisces season, the end of February, we are focusing on a big project. There is a big goal to be attained here, and we're just at the beginning, or we might feel like we're just at the beginning. It's okay to start something new. It's okay to not be at the final stage of something. In order to get to the final stage, you have to go through all the stages of completion before getting there, right? So it's okay if you're not at that final stage. It's okay to be a student. It's okay to not know everything. It's okay to be at the beginning of a relationship. Don't force a final result on whatever it is that you're experiencing right now. Just be there for the journey. It is a good time to surrender to the journey and to surrender, especially for Pisces season, to let go. I mean, if anyone likes the phrase let go and let God, and that resonates with you, take that, because that's absolutely what we need to do right here. But to let go of whatever expectation and because with expectation comes fear that you won't succeed in that. And that's where that Nine of Swords is really coming into play as well. Of course, that fear card that you picked too. Wherever we have expectations, there's fear that we aren't good enough to achieve them. There's fear that someone else has placed those expectations on you as well. And there's fear of just failing, right? Fear of not getting the exact result. Whereas if you leave things open-ended and just dictate to the universe, this is what I would like to happen, or something better, right? Manifest or something better. So that's the Nine of Swords, where it's kind of in your mind, the idea of failure or the idea that things are not going the way that you want them to. And then this Three of Pentacles, again, speaks to the initial stage of completion. So if around at the end of February, you are thinking about starting a project, or you've been, putting in a lot of work towards, like mentally towards starting something, this is the right time to actually start that project. And it's actually the right time to tell others about the project so that they can hold you accountable in a safe way. There's a lot of safety going on in this month for you, making sure that you have a safe space, making sure you feel held and taken care of. This Three of Pentacles is one of, you don't have to start the project alone. It doesn't have to be all on your plate, very similar to that second section of February. You're allowed to reach out, and you never know what ideas might bounce off of other people because you did reach out. Lilu is reaching out right now. All right, so that is your month ahead. That is February. I hope that was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments what resonated. Let me know what plans you've got for this coming month. And just, if you have any questions that you want me to address throughout the month, in whatever monthly video I end up doing, please drop them in the questions and I will ask the cards later on. Thank you guys. Bye. Hello. All right. So you picked the happiness card. Love this for you. I'm assuming then that we are looking for happiness. We're manifesting happiness, or maybe we're in a place in our lives where we are quite content and we just want to know what is coming through. Again, always, if whatever resonates with you, please drop it in the comments. Let me know. And make sure that you ask questions so that whenever I do make my monthly video of answering your guys' questions, your comment is there in the hodgepodge of all the questions. So I will try my best to get to you. So let's look at, if you remember, we break down the month into thirds. So the first set of 10 days, the second set of 10 days, and February is going to be 29 days this year because it is a leap year. Ooh, wow. Okay. So we're going to have a third set of 9 days. So that first set of 10 days came out real quick. This is Curious Creatures deck by Chris Ann, by the way. We've got the Knight of Swords, the Moon, and the Seven of Pentacles. Wow, this is lovely. I feel like there's somebody out there who is creating a business, a spiritual business, who is trying to build up a spiritual business. And this is where we really get the ideas flowing. So here we are with the Moon. We're following our intuition. We're feeling a lot of emotion during the first third of February. We're following the path that guides us, the less conventional path. The Moon is one of trusting that that little feeling within you is guiding you somewhere good, and that there is power in emotion. So maybe this is a time to really attack, is the word that's coming to mind. Attack the sense that your emotion is not worthy of taking up space. What a great time for this season, because we are in Aquarius season, which is the water bearer. Sorry about that, my phone died. But Aquarius is known as carrying the jug of water, not being the water itself. So having a really external perspective on emotion. So this is a time actually to separate yourself from the opinions you have on your own emotion, and instead to let them guide you as though they are fact. This is a time where your intuitive hits are going to be very important. And also the Seven of Pentacles, knowing that what you have to say, your personal truth, it has tangible value. It matters, okay? And we have this Knight of Swords, which I find being a really good one for letting your thoughts run. And I think this would be a really good time during the beginning of February to have a running note, whether it's a written someone, whether it's on your notes app, whether it's through a specific app, to write down anything that comes to mind and let that sit rather than taking action from it right away. Let it sit. And then within a week, when you go back to that notes app and you see what it is that you wrote, the ideas that you had, see what really sticks, because those are the ones that are going to be of tangible value as well. I think that also throughout the beginning of February, we're looking at our routines and cycles and habits. Pay attention to the habits that make you genuinely feel better, right? If we're manifesting happiness in our life right now, look at what genuinely puts a smile on your face, whether that's skincare, whether that's a yoga practice, whether it's pulling a card every morning, whatever that means to you. It does feel like there's a spiritual attachment to joy. There's a spiritual connection to what makes you smile. And it's really fitting that we came off of this, Leo full moon last week, and we're now experiencing joy on a spiritual level. All right, so let's pull for the second set of February. We're going to use the Everyday Witch Tarot. Ooh, this one immediately. Let's see what else. There we go. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so I do see that in the second set of February, there is a bit of an emotional high and an emotional low. You got the High Priestess, which again is very attached to your intuition. It's very attached to a higher knowledge of what is right for you, or just of what is. There's a higher understanding, a higher knowledge, a higher consciousness, and there's that attachment to that higher consciousness that you can tap into. However, I feel like there is a lesson that you're learning about separating all of your thoughts from higher consciousness thoughts. Not every thought that you have is going to be aligned in all of its truth with your truth. Very similarly to that writing down all the thoughts that come to mind and then waiting a week to see what actually sticks. I feel like in the second set of February, we're still bringing some of that with us. We're still having a lot of mental activity, but there needs to be a when you separate something from, discerning what is fact versus what is simply an anxiety or a worry or a hypothetical thought in your mind. And by fact, I mean truth. So that could be a spiritual truth, a physical truth, an emotional truth. I do see an emotional high and low from this Four of Cups. There feels like maybe there's a bit of a misunderstanding, maybe in our relationships. That's what's coming to mind here. There's a misunderstanding of the way that a relationship has been communicated to you and how you have acted because of that misunderstanding. So it might be a good time in the middle of February to put aside the ego and just to have an open communication, creating a safe space with other people. And that's going to bring you towards your goal of happiness, or it's going to extend the happiness that you have been feeling. This is a time to be open, to be honest, and to leave behind the thoughts that just are not fully aligned with who you want to be or who you are aiming to be, who you're working towards being. All right, the last third of February, I'm using the Muse Tarot by Chris Ann. Absolutely stunning. The Three of Cups, the Five of Cups, and in this deck, Cups is emotions. And here, ooh, no, hold on. There it is. Oh, it's both of them. Wow, the Hanged Muse and Awakening. Wow. All right, so at the beginning of Pisces season, there is a major call and softening in this last little 9 days of February to be vulnerable with the people around you and to express emotion without fear of judgment, without an agenda or expectation of what is going to come of it. So this Three of Cups is absolutely a card of connection, connecting to others on a very intimate level, on an emotional level, of finding soul family and of allowing yourself the space, allowing yourself the vulnerability of telling someone they are your soul family, of being open and exposed and raw enough to say, I love you like family, even though we don't have that blood connection. We've got the Five of Cups. I find that this, especially in tandem with the Three of Cups, is a really good card for letting your emotions bounce off of other people and being open and receptive to how they perceive it and their advice. You might need to change the way that you are thinking about something in order to feel better and in order to feel more emotionally secure. And then we've got both of these majors, and you saw when I was shuffling those cards, quite a few cards wanted to come out. So these majors here, we have the Hanged Muse, which is the Hanged Man, and Awakening, which is the Judgment card. These are Pisces and Scorpio cards. They are not messing around. They are emotionally in depth. They are emotionally charged, and they are also willing to surrender and see the truth. There's a real sense of self-honesty during this time. And I wonder if maybe some of this desire for happiness and just to be content might be coming from a little bit of a place of denial of the truth that we're not really telling ourselves. So sorry if that bursts any bubbles, but also if it bursts a bubble, that's why you came here, right? That's why this reading is for you. There's a need to explore the self even further and to open yourself up to your soul family, open yourself up to the people who you consider to be the closest people in your life. Maybe you've been building up walls around them a little bit and you need to reopen that heart space and re-express your love to someone. It's okay if your relationship changes. Just allow yourself to communicate that change or to acknowledge that change rather than to be in denial and then to close off. All right, so that is your month of February. I actually want to pull one card from the Shamanic Healing Oracle here just to see, you know, what is the real root of healing in this month of February. Here it is. Sacred space. Look at that. Create a sacred space for yourself to open your mind up or open yourself up to all the ideas that your mind has, to be connected to your authentic and higher truth, and then to make space for connections with other people that connect on a deeper, more emotional level. All right, have a wonderful February. Sending you guys a lot of love, and I'm very excited to be back. Bye. Okay, pile 3, we picked frustration. Interesting choice. I'm assuming or I'm feeling that maybe you chose this card because you are dealing with frustration. Frustration is coming up a lot for you. It feels like things are not working the way that you want them to be, and that maybe there's just some sort of blockage that you're trying to break up and crack out. Crack open. All right, so if you're an OG, then you remember that I break these month ahead readings into thirds. The first set of 10 days, the second set of 10 days, and then the last set, which for this month, it is a leap year. So we are experiencing 29 days in February. So we'll have the third set, which is 9 days. Starting with the first set of 10 days, we have got the Knight of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands, and the Empress. I'm going to show you these cards. Here we have the Knight of Pentacles, admiring his work, putting in hard labor. Here we've got the 10 of Wands, maybe feeling a little bit burdened by all of the responsibility or all the weight of all of the work that they're doing. And then we have the Empress here, which is very much a nurturing card, nurturing of the self, nurturing of others. This to me just screams that you need to give yourself a break. You've been working so hard, and maybe the frustration is coming from putting in so much effort and not getting the reward. And maybe that's a sign that what you're putting all of your energy towards is a little misplaced. Maybe you're misplacing your energy. I mean, even in this card, we've got a square peg and a round hole. So, you know, clearly those don't belong with each other. Maybe this square peg is your energy and the round hole is wherever you're applying it. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If you know that you are putting in hard work towards something that feels authentic and right for you, then that's not for you. But if there's a feeling within you that you are not putting your energy where it's really meant to be going, and that there's a reason you're not being rewarded for all that hard work, listen to this as a sign that it's time to shift gears. It's time to pivot and to look elsewhere and to follow what really feels right for you. However, that's getting ahead of myself. The first 10 days of February is about nurturing yourself, taking care. It's like if you've been doing a lot of hard labor. As you may notice, my hands are a little messy because I've been doing hard labor, taking up tile, breaking down walls. You need to let your body rest and recuperate the next couple of days. You need to make sure that you're refilling that cup, that you're putting band-aids where you need to put them, and make sure that you also feel like you're not just a tool, like you're not just being used. You need to tell your body that you're not just using your body and then, throwing it away when you're done. You need to love your body, love your mind, love your hands, whatever it is that you're using, whatever energy it is that you're giving to what the project that you're giving. You need to tell it that it's also loved and appreciated and acknowledged, because the weight of the burden and the responsibility of taking on this task is taking up too much space, and your heart almost feels like it's blocked, like it's not being given that appreciation. So that's the first third of February. The second third of February, so from the 11th to the 20th, we're at the tail end of Aquarius season. Ooh, we've got the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Swords. Ooh, wow, I'm loving this. So powerful. This is the Everyday Witch Tarot, by the way. And the Ace of Swords. Yes, I love this. Okay, so it almost feels like that first third of February is about realizing that maybe you're not putting all of your energy where you're supposed to, and that's where that frustration is coming from. It also feels like maybe there's a relationship in your life. I should have said this before, sorry, but it also feels like there's a relationship in your life that is taking a toll on you and that's literally pushing you down. Like you feel like your back is in pain and you're stressed and it just doesn't feel like it is serving you, and you need, as an act of self-love, to separate yourself from that person. So if that resonates with you, I know that it's so much easier said than done, but it is a truth. All right, so moving on to the second set of 10 days in February, we've got this 8 of Wands, which is all about you having the power to control the chaos around you. The 8 of Wands, especially in this card, the chaos around you. The 8 of Wands is known as a direction card. It's about being ambitious and dreaming big. And I think that by letting go of what's holding you back, wherever you're placing your energy, by letting go of that, you're actually taking control of the success that you're manifesting in your future. We've got the 8 of Swords, which is about limiting beliefs and blindfolding yourself, not being in denial and not allowing yourself to truly see what is fact and what is true and what is your personal truth. So now's the time to start a new journey. This Ace of Swords is a beginning of a new thought cycle. We're really starting a new project, and it all starts in the mind. So this middle bit of February, which is the end of Aquarius season, is one for you to really sit and recognize what your power can be used towards, what your skill set, how it can be utilized, how it can manifest true feelings of success and fulfillment within the self. This is a time to start a new project. Maybe it means writing a new book, starting writing in your journal again, just anything that has to do with using your mind as a new task could be very, very beneficial for you at this time of the month. This 8 of Swords, again, there's a bit of denial, but there is light outside of the blindfold. There is a way to release yourself from the prison of your mind here, from the prison of denial. And then, this 8 of Wands, you are fully capable, even though it feels like you're in the middle of a storm right now, you are fully capable of taking it on and of controlling the situation. And if you have little ones or dependents who really depend on you doing the thing that is frustrating you, you can take a risk. You can take a risk, and it doesn't mean that you can never go back to where you are. There will always be options for you and for your family to feel secure. The last third of which deck do we want to use? Let's use the Curious Creatures from Chris Ann. Last third of February from the 21st to the 29th. Okay. Oh, we got 8 of Wands again. We got the 10 of Pentacles. Wow, I'm so excited for you. And 4 of Swords and Temperance also jumped out. Wow, this Eight of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, this is a continuation of this card of having control in chaos and knowing your power, knowing you are ambitious and strong and that you can follow your ambitions, even if they feel like they're too big of dreams. Follow them. They can be very, very fruitful for you, especially because in tandem with this Eight of Wands, we're experiencing the Ten of Pentacles. This is financial success. This is financial freedom, security, safety, a sense of accomplishment. This is a happy ending card. Okay. So really follow those dreams. Take a leap. Look how happy this, what is that? No, that's a turtle. Look how happy that turtle is, going so fast. That turtle believed that he was so slow when in actuality, the turtle could run faster than anybody really said he ever could. Okay. So believe more of yourself, because when you believe more of yourself, you achieve this sense of fulfillment and joy. And that frustration can be forgotten about. We've got the Four of Swords and Temperance. This beginning of Pisces beginning of Pisces season and end of February is a good time for you to rest and to tell yourself that you are worthy of rest. Balance out all of that hard work from the beginning of the month, right? Temperance is all about balance. Balance out all of this hard work that you put in with some rest, with some chill. I love that you got the sloth and turtle in this like succession of cards for the last bit of February. So there is balance to be found. You're allowed to ask others for help. I feel like that's coming up for quite a few of you with this burdensome sensation, this weighty feeling on your shoulders and on your back. You're allowed to ask others for support, and you're allowed to rest. All right, so make sure that you drop any questions you want me to ask the cards for you specifically, any personal insights that you need, so that when I do a monthly reading where I answer your questions, that your question is considered in that. All right, sending you a lot of love. Have the best February. See you next time.